And welcome to the very first part of the Island Stroll CAL. I'm Tess from SistersInStitch, and together we have teamed up with the amazing team of Yarn and Colors to bring you these gorgeous two projects that either are a pillow or a blanket, depending on which yarn you are using. For this week, we are beginning by making the Ponding Lily Square, an absolutely gorgeous square with a water lily resting on its leaf in a pond filled with this gorgeous little water that ripples out towards the beach. Adorable! And as always with us here at SistersInStitch, we are using US terminology throughout, and you can follow along with the free written pattern that you can find on our homepage at SistersInStitch.com, where we both have a printer-friendly and a screen-friendly version. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely serene, and so much fun. I will guide you along stitch by stitch, and remember that you can always slow down the play speed by going to settings and just slow it down a little, and you can always rewind and rewatch the rounds that you need to, okay? And if you have any questions, just reach out. We are here to help, and we hope that you will have lots and lots of fun making your Island Stroll blanket or pillow. So without further ado, let's check out the materials. So to make this gorgeous square that is called Saunter in the Sunlight, you will be using 6 colors of must-have or super must-have. Mustard, old pink, pearl, cream, limestone or ecru. And you need also a hook, of course, that goes with it. We have used a 3mm, and then you need a scissor and a darning needle for those ends. And if you're using the blanket kit, you will be making this one. She is here, come on. She's taking up the entire frame. But this one is done in super must-haves. This measures 12.5 centimeters finished. This one will be 23 centimeters when finished. And for it, you will need a 6mm hook. Okay? And if you are making the other colorways, Stroll by the Sea or Walk in the Woods, all the info is placed down below and also in the written pattern. And you will also see for each round as we go along, you know, the divider which says which round we are at. On there you will find what color you will use specifically for that round, okay? So grab your things and let's begin. So we begin with our main color yarn, which for me is mustard. And I start with a magic circle. You can of course choose a ring start as well, a chain start. But I think this gives the neatest closure, so I'm going with the magic circle. So into it, we are working 6 single crochets, and I work with standing stitches, so I simply just begin. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we simply pull our tails out and back down our work. And tighten like that, and then we slip stitch into the very first stitch of the round to close with a slip stitch like that. So for round 2 we start with a standing stitch, and you can of course also chain to the height of a double crochet, but I'm going with the standing ones. So 1 double crochet, and then immediately after 1 more into the same stitch. And this is what we will do for all of our 6 stitches. We are working 2 double crochets in each. So we will end up with 12 in total. And one good thing to know here is that since the double crochet is so much higher than the single crochets that we are working in, this will come a little bit of a bulkiness to it, and so it will bobble a little bit, but don't worry about it. It's all part of the plan, so just go with the flow and it will be fine. Let's see, there we go. Just double checking. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. And then we will close with an invisible join to the second stitch, covering this one with the fake head. I will show you how to do it, okay? So to do an invisible join, I have first fastened off my starter ends by going through some of the stitches here, and then I cut the yarn and simply thread the needle, and now we are going to do our invisible join. So what you do is you go under the head of the stitch, these two loops here that forms the V, pull tight, and as you see it turns into a cup, but don't worry about it, just let it be. And then you go through the back loop of the last stitch that you made and the third loop, the one you can see here on the back, and just pull tight, flipping it to the other side just to have a look. It looks good. And then you go down the third loop and down the base of the next stitch, which will be the first stitch of the round, our standing stitch or chain start, if so will. And then I just work this back and forth a few times on the back side, and then we are ready to begin our next round. Okay, so do that and meet me up for round number 3. So for round 3, we start with our second color on the hook, which in my case is this gorgeous pearl. And then we locate a first double crochet of a set of 2 on another point then where we started our last round, okay? So we switch up where we start every now and then. So into this first double crochet of the 2, you begin with a standing stitch and working 2 single crochets. Like that, 1 and 2. And then around the next stitch, you do a front post half double crochet. And then you repeat, so 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 front post half double crochet around the next. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, a front post half double around the next. We are just going around and around doing this, 2 single crochets into the next stitch, 1 front post half double crochet around the next. And around we go, and this will bring forward some texture from the center, which will be super cute. We'll see. And then we do a final front post half double crochet. So you should have 12 single crochets and 12 front posts half double crochets when you are finished, like that. So as you can tell, it has a tendency to either begin to bowl up or go out the other way, and that's fine. That is exactly how it's supposed to be, okay? So don't worry about it. As I said in the previous round, this will be a fun one. So simply cut your yarn and close with an invisible join to the second stitch, which is our single crochet, just as I showed you, and meet me up for the next round. I realize this might be a little bit tricky for this round since we are working on both the back and front, but I did my invisible join here, and then I have gone back and forth here a few times, and then now I'm moving into the next set and just going back and forth like this to secure. I will show you these trickier places just to help out. We'll see. And with the starting end, as you can see, it's drooping down here. This was our standing stitch. So I'm going, since it's drooping, we are pulling it up. So I'm going up under the next third loop here. We have the 2 front loops there, and then we have the back one here. Just pulling it up and going back down into the 2 single crochets here. And this might be a little bit tight because I have already worked my other end here, but it will fit. Like that. And then when you feel like it's secure, just cut off your yarn and meet me up for round number 4. For this round, I have gotten my old pink, and we are going to find ourselves in the first of one of these single crochets that we made in the previous round, and we're doing a back post half double crochet, and I'm working a standing one. So I'm just going around and pulling through like that. And then I will do the same around the next stitch. So 1 back post half double crochet around the 2 single crochets, and then around this front post half double crochet we are doing a front post V-stitch. So we are going around it, doing a front post double crochet like that, chaining 2, and then working another front post double crochet around the same stitch like that. Gorgeous. So we are just repeating now, going into or around our next single crochet and doing a back post half double crochet, and around the next one as well. And then we are doing a front post V-stitch, so a front post double crochet, chain 2, and a front post double crochet around the same stitch like that. And this is what you will do all the way around. So back post half double crochets around the single crochets, and then a front post V-stitch around the front post half double crochet. Okay, so do that and meet me up to close. Okay, so I have come all the way around and just finished my last front post V-stitch, and I will now fasten off with an invisible join to the second stitch, which is this back post half double crochet. And for the next round we are still using this old pink, but we are only working around the chain 2 spaces of our V-stitches and down in between those 2 single crochets. So we are actually not touching these ones. So if I were to continue on and slip stitch all the way up here, it will be a bit bulky, and I don't want that. So therefore I will fasten off, but you can of course do your slip stitches maybe in the third loop over here if you want to. So do whatever you prefer and meet me up to begin the next one. I don't know if you can hear it through the phone, but there is so much spring going on outside. So the woodpecker is working really hard outside the window. We'll see if the sound will translate. So to begin our 5th round, we are working only around the chain 2 spaces, and then we are slip stitching into the second single crochet from round number 3. So this one here, and we will do that and skip all other stitches. So I begin with a standing stitch around my chain 2 space and make a double crochet. And then we do 6 more, because each of these spaces should hold 7 in total. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like that. And then we slip stitch into the second single crochet here, bringing it all down, tighten, and going back up around the next chain 2 space and make 7 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, followed by the 7th. And slip stitch into the second single crochet from round number 3, tighten, and repeat. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we slip stitch into the second single crochet. And now we are halfway. So as you can tell, these are shaping themselves very lovely thanks to that slip stitch, and it's going to be so cute. So go around and finish all of these sets and meet me up to close, okay? I will show you how to do that in a neat way. Have fun! So here we go. I have just finished my last slip stitch in the second single crochet there, and now we are doing an invisible join to just bringing this point down as well of our first leaf. And doesn't it look adorable already? I just love this one. It's so cute, and this center just pops up in the middle to like balance out the curves of the petals. These are the little things I enjoy the most, small details of the work. But what you will do now is simply cutting off your end, pulling the yarn out, and now let's fasten off this little cutie and completing this round. So what I will do, I just pin this one to the back. I will go not into the first but to the second stitch as always, through the head of the stitch, underneath the both loops there. Tighten slightly, just making sure that the first double crochet or the chain 2 start that you used in the beginning will line up with our slip stitch. And then I go back down the slip stitch, through the back loop and the third loop, and just gently pull it in place. So our first stitch will be a little bit off to the back, which is perfectly fine because there is where we want it. And then I just go through the third loop and the entire body of the first stitch and go down. And I always try to fasten off where there is the most amount of yarn in the same color. So this will be absolutely perfect for that. So I simply go underneath and work through these places a little bit, like that. And then not tightening too harsh because I don't want it to shape the petal in any way. I just want it to be secure. Just going like that. And then we are doing something about the starter end. So just threading my yarn on a needle and going, let's see, there we have the slip stitch. So it should be here somewhere. Just going upwards to bring the knot up, and then again back down like that. Not tightening too harsh, but just enough to keep it not loose. And just go back and forth a few times here as well, okay? And it will look absolutely perfect from the front. So do that and meet me up for our next round. Well done! You made it around, and now we are beginning our leaf sections. So we are only working in these 2 skipped back post half double crochets from round number 4. Can you tell? It's quite an easy round working around. You just have to identify this one and then it will be easy peasy. So we start with a standing double crochet into the first of those 2. Like that. And then we do another one. So we have 3 double crochets in total. And then we work 3 double crochets into the next one as well. Like that. Now you have 6 double crochets in between these petals. So we just scooch our petal down a little bit so we can find the next and work 3 double crochets into that one. 2 and 3. And don't worry if your head here is a little bit loose, if you have to be a little bit softer with your touch on that one, because we will cover this with other stitches later, okay? So just go ahead and work 3 double crochets into each of those skipped back post half double crochets all the way around. Here's where I fasten off. It's always a little bit trickier. Let's see, because it holds our fastening off, so it's a bit stiffer, but it goes like that. And it will start to look something like this. So, or hopefully exactly like this. So go all the way around and meet me up to close, okay? So we have come all the way around, and we should have 6 double crochets in between all of these petals, like that. And now we are slip stitching into the very first stitch of the round, my standing double crochet, or maybe a chain start in your case. But just close with the slip stitch, and this also counts as the very first stitch of our next round, where we will keep on building our petals here, okay? So what you will do now, you start with a slip stitch, chain 1, 1/2 double crochet into the same stitch. And then we are working 1/2 double crochet in the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you should be at the very last double crochet of a set here. So you do 1/2 double crochet, chain 1, and slip stitch all into the same stitch, like that. And then we just do it all over again for the next leaves. I will follow you for one more. So slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, and a 1/2 double crochet all in the same stitch, which should be the first double crochet of a set, okay? And then we work 4 1/2 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 in each. And then we work a 1/2 double crochet, chain 1 to get down, and slip stitch. And this is just how we are going around and around. So we will have these lovely little petals laying on these leaves that we are now creating. Super cute water lily shape. It's gonna be adorable. So do that 4 more times and meet me up to close, okay? See you in a bit. You have now come all the way around, so you should have 6 leaves placed beneath your petals here. And it should be a slip stitch, chain 1, 1/2 double crochet into the first stitch, followed by 1/2 double crochet in each of the other stitches, 1/2 double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the next, and so on and so on. So it's looking so cute. But now all you have to do is cut your yarn and close with an invisible join to the second stitch. Remember, the slip stitch was our first, so it will be into that chain. If you think it feels a little bit strange, you can always do a slip stitch into the first slip stitch and then fasten off on the back, okay? So do what works for you and meet me up for round number 8. For our round 8, we are going to work tall V-stitches, which are a treble chain 2 treble, around this little space created between the leaves from round 7 and 6, okay? And then we are chaining and skipping a few stitches to our 4th 1/2 double crochet made on a petal. And I'll just show you, because this can be a little bit tricky to see and I want to show you clearly before we begin. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is the head of the stitch, and here are the 2 little lines, which is called the 3rd and the 4th loop. And it's in these 2 that we will be working. So if you flip your work over, you can tell head of the stitch followed by 2 lines here. Okay, so it's around those we will be working our single crochets later on. Just wanted to show you. And then we're chaining and doing another V-stitch and so on and so on. So it will be a fun round, and as soon as you get the hang of it, it will go super quick, okay? So just grab your yarn that you are using. I will be using cream, and let's begin. Adorable. So we are doing a tall V-stitch, which includes a treble, chain 2 treble. And so I do a standing start. So I wrap my yarn twice, holding it secure with my index finger, whilst grabbing my work, going around the space where I want to go, pulling up a loop, just keeping it there tight, going through 2 loops, going through 2 loops, and going through 2 loops, like that. First treble done. And if you feel like a standing treble is too tricky, simply slip stitch and chain to the height of your trebles, maybe a 4 or a 5. And then you chain 2 more. if you're doing that, and just do another treble around the same space, okay? Like that. And here is our standing V-stitch, tall V-stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now we are doing the thing I showed you. So we are counting 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets. Flip that one over, going into the third and the fourth loop of that and doing a single crochet. Preferably not dropping your work while you're doing it. So once more, there we go. And like that, because this places it behind the pedal, so the pedal looks intact, but we still have it nice and secure on the back. Chain 3, and then we do another tall V-stitch. So yarn over twice, around the space, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, chain 2, yarn over twice, go around the same space, and pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, like that. It's gonna be so gorgeous. Chain 3, finding that fourth half double crochet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, flipping it over, finding those 2, and do a single crochet. Chain 3 again, and just keep on doing this all the way around, okay? I'll do one more with you. So yarn over twice, go around the space, chain 2, do another treble, like that, chaining 3, and finding our fourth half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, tilting, going under those 2, the third and fourth bar, and a single crochet, and chain 3. So keep on, oh, it's so pretty. I love this part. I really do. So go around all the way here and meet me up to close and start our next round, which will have the same yarn, okay? And here we go, we have gone all the way around, and to close this one we are simply going to do a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, which is my standing treble. Could also be a chain 4 or 5 here for you. And that's it. That is all that is this round. So let's just dive right into round number 9. So for this round we are carrying on with our cream or the other color that you have working on. And I know that in the pattern it says to slip stitch into the next chain 2 space to start the round, but I think we can do our last stitch first, which sounds a little bit weird, but I will show you because I think it looks better, okay? So what we will do is, instead of slip stitching into the chain 2 space, we are simply doing a standing single crochet 2 together over these 2 spaces. So we are going to skip the treble and go back into the chain space, essentially, grabbing the yarn and pulling up a loop, and then going into the next chain space, grabbing the yarn, pulling up a loop. We have now 3 loops on our hook. Grab the yarn and pull through all 3, okay? Like that. And here we have a beautiful standing single crochet 2 together over this space. It will be much less bulky. So if you can do that, do that. Otherwise, slip stitch into the chain 2 space and we just start with a standing single crochet. So we are placing 3 single crochets into this chain 2 space. And then we are working another single crochet 2 together over these 2 spaces, skipping the treble, like that. So the head falls on top of this stitch, okay? And after that, it's smooth sailing, because all what we are going to do is place 3 single crochets around each chain space. 1, 2, and 3. And then as soon as we encounter a stitch, we do a single crochet 2 together, worked over it, like that. And 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Scooching them over and working a single crochet 2 together over the next 2 spaces, like that. So 1, 2, 3 single crochets, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 3 times, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 1, 2, and 3, and then single crochet 2 together. So just go ahead and go all the way around, and then meet me up to close, okay? Have fun! So we are now all the way around. I have finished my very last single crochet around the chain 3 space. And if you did as me, you have already worked your last stitch, which was the single crochet 2 together. So it's just cutting up the yarn and closing it off with an invisible stitch to the second one, which will now be our first single crochet. But if you did the 3 single crochets first, just close with doing the single crochet 2 together over this space 2 and then close to the second single crochet, okay? Do that and meet me up for the next round. So for round number 10, we are grabbing our pearl or the color that you are using and starting in any single crochet 2 together that isn't your starting point, okay? Just find one that you like. This one is speaking to me. And then we are simply going to do a V-stitch. So a standing double crochet to begin, chain 2, and then a double crochet into the same stitch, like that. And then we are skipping 2, 1 and 2, and into the next we do a V-stitch. And this is the pattern repeat. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And then we're skipping 2, going into the third, and do a V-stitch, like that. And this will repeat all the way around, just going every third and doing a V-stitch. And this will be the part that represents the water, together with this section, of course, but these are kind of like the waves on the water, or when you toss in a stone, you know, it creates this ripple effect on the water surface, and this is exactly what I wanted this to feel like. So just go ahead and go all around, creating your lazy little waves, and meet me up to close. Okay, so to close this round, we simply just use a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. And now just make sure that you have 24 V-stitches all around, okay? It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 off in the other round, but for this moment forward, we really need all of our stitches to make sure that the squaring out will work perfectly, okay? So just do a count and then meet me up to begin round number 11. So to begin this round, you simply chain 1 to get the height and work a single crochet into that very first stitch. And then we're working 1 single crochet around each chain, so there will be 2 single crochets around the chain 2 space, and then 1 single crochet in the next, and so on. And we will do this for 16 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 already. The next will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Like that. And as a reference, your last single crochet here should fall in the last double crochet of a V-stitch, not in the first, because then you have done one too many. So when you have your 16 single crochets, we are now doing a corner. And so we skip this double crochet, and into the chain 2 space, we work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1 again, 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. Like that. So you get this nice little fan, and it consists of 4 double crochets with 1 chain in between. And then we simply skip the next stitch and work 1 single crochet in the next 20 stitches. So in each stitch and around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And again, your last single crochet should end in the last double crochet of a V-stitch. And now we are doing a corner, so we are skipping the first double crochet and working a double crochet around the chain 2 space. And chain 1, and another double crochet, and chain 1, another double crochet, the third, chain 1, and a final 4th double crochet, like that. Skipping the next stitch and working 20 single crochets across the next side. So it will look like this with 4 corners. So go ahead and do that, and for the last repeat we are omitting the first 16 stitches, so we only do 4 stitches on this side, okay? But go around and meet me up here and I'll show you. So as you can tell, I have worked my last corner here with 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets with a chain in between, skipping the next, and then I have 4 single crochets to work left, since we already done a few in the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, and the very last one here, 4, like that. So as you can tell, we have our 4 corners here, so just fasten off with an invisible join to the second stitch and meet me up for round number 12. For round number 12, we are beginning in any of these center chain 1 spaces that we did for the corners last time. So just go around and do a standing double crochet around the second one. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then work another double crochet in there. And then yarn over, and now we're doing a front post bubble stitch. It sounds much more complicated than it is. It's essentially 2 double crochets work together around this post, okay? So just go around, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn again, pull through 2, which is our first half finished front post double crochet. Yarn over, go around the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop. You have now 4 loops on your hook, grabbing the yarn and going through 2 half finished front post double crochets around the same stitch. Grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops, like that. Cute. And then do a double crochet around the next chain 1 space, like that. And around our last double crochet here, we are doing a front post treble to bubble. So it's essentially the same as the front post double crochet bubble, but with trebles. So yarn over twice, go around the stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. 4 loops on your hook, go through 2, go through 2, so you have 2 loops left. Yarn over twice again, go around the same stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook, go through 2, go through 2. Now you have 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over and go through all 3, like that. It's so cute already. And now easy breezy comes, so we are skipping the next 2 stitches, which are these 2 single crochets, and then we work 1/2 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. And now we are doing 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we are doing exactly the same, so we are doing 1/2 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you should have 2 more stitches now before your next double crochet, and we are skipping those because we're doing our front post treble 2 bubble. Okay, so we are going around the stitch after yarning over twice, grabbing the yarn and pull it to the front, so you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over 2 times and go around the same stitch, grabbing the yarn, pulling it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on the hook, grab the yarn and go through 2, go through 2, and now you're left with 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, like that. Work a double crochet around the next chain 1 space, and now we are doing a front post 2 DC bubble. So go around the stitch, so yarn over and go around the stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn again and go around the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, grab the yarn, pull through 2, you now have 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and go through all of them. Ta-da! So let's do one more side together and then I'll let you go and do the last 2, okay? So in this corner chain 1 space, do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, like that. And then we do a front post 2 double crochet bubble. So yarn over once, go around the stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through 2, grab the yarn and go around the same stitch again, pulling up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through all 3, like that. Then yarn over and do a double crochet around the chain 1 space behind it all, and then yarn over 2 times because now it's time for a treble. So go around the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through the front, 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, go through 2, go through 2, yarn over twice again, go around the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook, grab the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now you're left with 3 loops on your hook, grab the yarn and pull through all of them, like that. It looks amazing, well done. Just if it's tricky, just go ahead and rewind and slow down my showing and everything so you really get to see it, okay? Just take your time, it will be perfect when you're finished, okay? Or perfectly fine. So now when we have done our last treble bubble, we are going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then in the next 4 we are working a half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're doing 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we're doing 4 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We should have 2 stitches left before our double crochet, so we are skipping those, yarning over twice, and making a front post treble 2 bubble. So 1 and 2. There we go. A double crochet around the chain 1 space, a front post double crochet 2 bubble. So 1 and 2. And then we are back to our starting point. So go ahead and go all the way around and meet me up to close this round and begin our next one, okay? See you in a bit. Well done, we are now all the way around. Wait, we'll just close this round. We are slip stitching into the first stitch of the round, which is our double crochet, like that. And as you can tell, the texture is amazing. I love this so much. It's absolutely gorgeous. And for this next round, we are just increasing the height a bit. And we are working a little bit tricky placements here in the corners. This will be smooth sailing, but this is a little bit tricky. So just follow me along and we'll get there from start till end, okay? And you can just rewind and look again if you want to. Okay, so what we do is we chain 1 for the height. And then we do a single crochet in the very first double crochet of the corner here. Like that. And then we work 4 single crochets into the chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Followed by a single crochet into the next stitch. And now we also do a single crochet around the gap between the double crochet and the bubble, okay? Like that, not into the stitch, but around here, the space. Then we're skipping the bubble, this one, and we work a single crochet into the next double crochet, like so. Then we skip the next treble bubble and work a single crochet around the space between the bubble and the first half double crochet, like that. It will feel a little bit strange, but it works, believe me. It really does. And then we skip the next stitch, which is our first half double crochet, and work 1 single crochet into the next 15 stitches. So 1, 2, this is the easy sailing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so the last one ends in our last half double crochet here. And now we are doing 1 single crochet around the gap between the half double crochet that we just worked in and this treble bubble. So we are grabbing all of this yarn here and just going like that, or not grabbing it, we're going under it and pulling it up with our single crochet. And then we skip the bubble and then we work 1 single crochet into the next double crochet here. We are doing 1 single crochet around the space between the double crochet and the 2 double crochet bubble, like that, skipping the 2 double crochet bubble. We are not working in the bubbles at all, and then working a single crochet into the next double crochet, like that. So this is how we do it. I just follow you one more time. So we are working 4 single crochets around the chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 single crochet in the next double crochet, and in the gap between the double crochet and the bubble. Okay, skipping the bubble, 1 single crochet in the double crochet, skipping the bubble, working 1 single crochet between the treble, bubble, and the half double crochet, like that. Skipping the first half double crochet and working 1 single crochet in each stitch across, so 15 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a lot more. Just go ahead and work your way across to the very last half double crochet off the side, like this. There we go. And then we are working a single crochet around the space between the half double crochet we just worked in and our treble bubble. Okay, we are skipping the treble bubble and we are working 1 single crochet into the next double crochet, working also a single crochet around the space between the double crochet and the double crochet bubble, and then we are skipping the double crochet bubble and working 1 single crochet in the next double crochet, like that. So as you can tell, this brings a lot of firmness to this round, so just go ahead and keep on going and just rewind or check the pattern if you want to be sure that you're placing them right here in the corner. Okay, and here we go. We are all the way around. We have worked all of our stitches, so it looks absolutely perfect. And you should have 28 single crochets per side now. Okay, so just double check that, weave in your end, and meet me up for the very last final round. Oh my, we are here. We are at the very last round, round number 14. And for this one, we are creating a lovely frame. Okay, so grab your main color. I'm using mustard, and let's begin. So to begin this round, we find ourselves the second single crochet of a corner set of 4 and work a standing single crochet. And then we chain 2 and work a single crochet in the next stitch and in every stitch across. Easy peasy. This is a very lovely slow round, and yeah, it's just sometimes to think about what you have accomplished and where we will go next. And yeah, this is the final round of this being a square. Next time we are working on this part, we are turning it into an octagon. So it's gonna be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But don't worry, that's many weeks away in the CAL. First we have more squares to do, and we will have such a blast. Oh, it feels amazing. So we are just working our way across the short end here, or they are all short ends since it's a square, but still, you know what I mean. Just going around here until you come to the corner. 1, 2. So the second one is our actual corner. So this is all that you do. So do that, go all the way around and meet me up to close, and yeah, that's it. Have fun. And so I finished my very last single crochet of this square. And now I will simply cut my yarn, close with an invisible join to the second stitch, which is the first chain stitch of this round, and then hide my ends going back and forth on the back here. So yeah, do that and meet me up for some final words, okay? See you in a bit. And we have finished. Oh my, these are looking adorable. Both the pillow and the blanket square is absolutely amazing. I can look at these all day. I hope you have had lots and lots of fun making your Ponding Lily square, and that you leave a little thumbs up, maybe a comment below, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications, cause a new part will be released every Friday now for 11 weeks. So stay tuned and see you next week.